Good evening and welcome back to my channel. So I made a bit of a schoolboy error. In my last two videos I had set the camera backwards. I remember doing it, and I did it because apparently when you set your camera to film you backwards, you see your true self, but everything else is backwards. So I wear my watches on my right wrist, however this is my left wrist, and also because I'd set the camera backwards, my watches were in reverse. I didn't figure this out till a friend of mine pointed it out to me, and I'm very grateful to him for pointing that out to me. So hopefully now this watch is the right way around. This is a Grand Seiko. It's a cherry blossom, it's titanium. The one major reason I would buy a Grand Seiko is they're extremely accurate watches. They're not accurate off the satellites, and they're not linked to any Chinese weather balloons. There's a little fella inside of that watch there, independently pedaling as fast as he can, so that your automatic Grand Seiko wristwatch is 1 second fast per month. That's 12 seconds fast per year. That's unheard of. If you read the manufacturer's spec, it's only supposed to be plus 15 seconds a month. So it's well within that tolerance. And they also say, if you want to be late for work, buy a Rolex, don't buy a Grand Seiko. But this isn't about Grand Seikos tonight. This is about how to get a Rolex from an authorized dealer. There's two ways to do it. The first way is there's a secret hand gesture that you give, and when you give that gesture, they will automatically go in the back and they will open the special vault, and in there they have a range that they can just say, yeah, we'll let him have that one, and then you just pick the watch, pay for it and leave, and then you don't talk about it. And then the second way to do it is you have to build a relationship with the authorized dealer, so that authorized dealer feels comfortable letting you have what would be for them a very hot commodity. So if you take an example, what it would be a hot commodity for them would be a Rolex Submariner date. I don't know this for a fact, okay? But let's say they get 30 of those pieces a year. There's 12 months in a year. That means they're getting 3 a month, or 2 1 month, 3 the next. Now, if there's 400 people on the waiting list, or there's 100 really good customers on the waiting list, that automatically means there's a 4-year waiting list. It's not rocket science. And I believe that the no date as well, they get 5 less. But again, I don't know this for a fact, okay? So that means they're getting 1.5 a month, right? Which is even worse. So I believe the no date sub, I just said no date. Oh my God. Fuck doing these videos. I'm not fucking re-editing this. A Submariner without a date is called a sub. Let's leave it at that. So you want to build this relationship, and what you want to do is you want to go in there and you want to say, hi, I like watches, what can I buy? And if they say nothing, then you've got to take them at their word for it and leave. If they say you can have this if you buy this, or if you become a customer of theirs, as in somebody who buys watches from them and maybe buys presents for the wife, got to keep the wife happy. Long term, they see a path for you to get to your watch, the particular watch that you want. Now, also, with the current watch market in 2023, some watches should be a lot easier to get. So if you want, let's say, a date just 41, I don't know, black dial, silver dial, you might get lucky. But again, I don't think they're just going to give it to you, because if you go into an authorized dealer, there ain't no steals hanging around on the shelves. What I also suggest is you take a different path. You look at other brands. Now, Rolex owns Tudor, and Tudor does make a nice looking watch. And I've had some bad experiences with my Tudors. I've had a particular bad time with this little sucker here. And how I've sorted this problem is, I'm now ignoring the fact that yesterday it jumped 3 seconds fast in a day. The day before it was 1 second fast. And the clasp is garbage. And what I've done is I've gone to my NATO with titanium fittings. What I like about the titanium is the way that the buckle is. I mean, it's just gorgeous. It's wider than a normal buckle, because it's titanium. But I got a titanium NATO because I wanted titanium fittings to match my titanium watch. So no matter how inaccurate this watch is, or the fact that it's got 3 different lume pots, there's just something about this watch. I just adore this watch. So if I want to tell the time, I'm going to have to look at my phone or my Grand Seiko. But anyway, I'm going off track. So you want to build a relationship, and maybe by building the relationship, you buy a Tudor watch. I highly recommend what's the best one to buy? I think the GMT. Get yourself a Tudor GMT. It's a great watch, a bit heavy, bracelet's crap, and it's got fake rivets on it, but it's a good start. And then go back to the AD in about 6 months, and then ask them, listen, I like my my Tudor. I'd like to take the next step. What do you recommend? And they might say, well, have you seen an Omega? And you are, well, I don't really want an Omega, I want a Rolex. And then at that point, they might say, well, I tell you what we'll do. You could put your name down for X, and if you're willing to wait 6 months, we'll give it to you. Now, if they say that to you, and they're a trustworthy, authorized dealer, then basically you're golden. And all you got to do is just make sure they don't forget you. Now, a normal person would go into the Rolex AD probably twice a year just to say hi. If you're a watch collector or you're nuts about watches, you might go in there twice a month, which is probably twice a month too many times. However, that's just the way it is. I think, to sum it up, it's about building a relationship and building a buy history and showing that authorized deal that you're able to spend money and you're willing to buy different brands, different watches, and maybe that you're a collector. If you only want one watch, then you might struggle at the moment to go straight to the one you want if it's a Rolex. So my journey for one of my Grail watches, I just got really lucky. I went to a new authorized dealer and I bought a watch off them, and then I went again, and then I think I bought something else, and then I went again and I mentioned about this watch, and they said, yeah, you can have that watch. And I thought, yeah, I'm never getting this watch. And then lo and behold, I got that watch. And then the phone went again. And what I really like about this authorized dealer was I am really into Omegas as well. And I wanted the green Seamaster Diver 300. They still haven't had one because Omega's hoarding them. So I bought it elsewhere, and they did not take it personal, which I was surprised because I would have taken it personal. Remember, they have overheads. And then quite recently I wanted another watch, and Omega managed to get it for me sooner than my authorized dealer. And again, this authorized dealer didn't hold it against me. And after a few purchases, and a few visits every so often to the shop. I got my one of my dream watches. So I got the Rolex Submariner date. I'm not going to do a review on this watch because there isn't pretty much a better watch out there. I don't really know what else to say about a Rolex Submariner that you haven't heard a million feckin' ways by a million feckin' idiots. But I think for me, the latest version, I just think that the lugs, even though they're quite excessive, they're much nicer, much narrower, because obviously if you're looking at the Hulk, you have to forgive me, I don't know the serial number of the Hulk, it's much wider, and I just don't, I think, sometimes when I see a Hulk, I think fake, and then I have to look at it again and go, oh no, it's a real one, but I just don't like it. So I don't think you could get a better watch, a modern sub-date than this watch. And you know, everything about this watch, when you flip it up and you do the clasp, look at this clasp here, watch this, look, it's just little flick. And I found a little trick with mine. I like a watch when it's on my wrist, when it's this way, I like it to be even the other side. With certain watches, it took me weeks to get it to work, and then one, to get it to sit right, and two, to get it comfortable. And what I figured out was, inside the clasp, in there, was a half link sitting inside. See it there? So a ready-made half link doing nothing. So I took the plunge, got a screwdriver, and I did it myself. And I can assure you, I do not advise you to start fecking around with screws on a brand new Rolex, because you are going to regret it. Anyway, now, for me, my Submariner fits me perfect on the wrist. So again, I think you've just got to make sure that you're comfortable with your watch. And this Tudor has given me loads of problems. This Submariner, it's like, you know, when you have your first child and that child's an angel and you think, oh, children are wonderful, and then you have the next child and you've given birth to Damien, the devil. Well, it's the same thing. I mean, this is the perfect one child, and then this is the devil, and then this is sublime as well. But I mean, eventually there's got to be, you know, a limit to how many watches you own. But if you only want one watch and you want this watch, then I did. Oh yes, I did. I told you there was another way to do it, but I don't think I should share this because I might get into trouble. But I'm gonna do it anyway. And if you just don't, you know, normally they say like, share, and subscribe at the end of the video. Well, this time don't like it, don't share, and definitely don't subscribe. You walk into the Rolex CD, you stand in the middle of the floor and you do this. Just like that, see? It's all in the angle. And if you do that, they will know that you're a serious collector, and they'll go to the vault and they will get you out a Submariner date and no waiting list. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and share. If you don't want to do any of them, I don't care. It's only YouTube, and it's now the start of the week. It's been a long day, and I'm pretty sure this video is so boring you've not even got to this stage, and you never saw about the secret hand gesture. So again, if you got this far, fantastic, and catch you next time.